cheap
I
pair
didn't,
of
I
jeans.
didn't want to
CS:GO
spend any
cases
money
up
at
there.
all, actually. I wanted to be zero, but I was
Oh,
like,
well,
Wait, you
technically
bought like
this is
5
paying out of
cases
my
last night.
CS, my CS
that's different.
salary.
That's cool, okay? This
I
is
think
like,
That's an
just
this
bank
is
the
investment.
less
rest
cool.
of this $100 I have.
Wait, why won't it let me buy it? I'm clicking the shopping button. Yeah, let me switch to Chrome, I guess. Ugh.
I'm all out of sodas. I'm so sad.
But that site had a bunch of other stuff too, like fucking, like the khaki colored ones. What? Oh, at the color.
khaki colored jobs.
Like they were like,
Talking about jeans?
they weren't jeans. What they call them? Cargo, whatever. Cargo pants. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cargo pants, and they were like tan colored. They were pretty good. Same price.
All right, now let's take a look at that. So this is going to be second lap. First lap might work, but I just felt like there's a little more grip on the second lap. So coming to the second lap, I get the car up the hill, but pointed down as early as I can so that I can make this straight line exit. So you see that I kind of time it. I'm aiming for my car to be at the bottom around this white dashed line where that starts. So you see, once I get there, I just straighten the car out and just drive it full throttle off the corner. So you can see, once I was confident that I was able to turn the car down and go full throttle and reach that apex at the white dashed line, that's how I knew that I was ready to do it. So you see it's starting to turn down, I unload the wheel a little bit, then I see the white dashed line in front of me, and I'm like, okay, I'm here, full throttle, and it might look a little scary, but this is pretty standard, car can handle it pretty easily. Okay, so now have good momentum coming to our lap. Number one rule about Phoenix: don't overdrive turn 1 or turn 3 in New Phoenix. This corner is deceptively tight. And so what can happen is you think that since it's so wide, you can drive it deep, and you can. But the thing is, it is extremely fast to get on the brake really early and get down to the yellow as early as possible. So watch my pedals here. I get on the brake in a straight line, and I start turning down into the corner, moving that brake into a trail. So notice 2 stages of braking. About 30% in a straight line, and then as I start turning the wheel to make the corner, down to about 15%. Then I instantly go from brake to gas as I land at the yellow line. You don't want to bounce off the yellow line. You want to stick to it for a little bit of time at least. That will know that you have the weight shift correct in the car. So you see I stuck to that yellow line. If I just bounced off of it, that meant that I carried too much speed into it. But because I stuck to it, that meant that we were good to get back onto the throttle. Continue to stick as I got back to partial throttle. Let the car slide up under that partial throttle. And then as I'm seeing the exit, I can go full throttle and drive it straight up to the wall using all the real estate. Take a look at that one more time. I won't pause it. Oops, sorry, a little more. So brake really early, earlier than you think. Turn down, shallower than you think. From 30 to 15% brake, then transition to a 50% throttle. Have that stick to the yellow. Then as it slides up naturally, you slowly raise the throttle, unload the wheel, full throttle, use all your real estate. Simple as that, right? It's simple in theory, but hard to put into practice. So let's go to 3 and 4. This is going to be a lot more long of a corner. It'll feel like it just goes on forever and ever. So again, we're going to enter the corner a little bit shallower than you think. I let off at about the white sign. I don't use markers very often, but because I'm a degenerate who used to run pickup cup here all the time, I know that this white sign right here is where you want to start lifting. Gas into brake, trail braking, about 20%. Once I get off the trail brake, I get straight back onto that 50% throttle. What I want is the car to stick to that yellow line. It can slide up a little bit, make a tiny bit of a diamond if you want it to. I find that it's a little bit slower. If you get this pedal technique correct, big trail brake into partial throttle once you stick to the bottom, and then you just hold this. You see him just holding the wheel and the throttle. I pushed it a little bit, but once you get to this white dash line, that's how you know you can go 100%. As long as you're not slid up the track too far. If I was like a full lane and a half up here, I would say, okay, I'm not by the white dash line. I'm going to have to wait a little bit longer. But because I was able to keep the car pinned down all the way until then, I was comfortable full throttling a little bit before. Gets a little loose. You know, we forced it a little bit earlier for qualifying. Taking the limits that you know and forcing it just a little bit more for qualifying. That's how the good guys do it. Gets a little bit loose, but nothing that I couldn't manage. So sorry, let's take a look at that one more time. So as we're getting into the corner, more brake as we go down the hill, but then bring it to a trail as we hit the yellow line. We stick to it, hold that half throttle, try not to diamond it too much, and then as we approach that white dash line, try to force the full throttle a little early, get that loose condition, but keep the car engaged. And that's how we get through that corner really fast. All right, now let's take a look at the long run. All right, now let's take a look at long run here. So I have a couple things I want to talk about, mostly just long run line stuff. And the bottom feeding is really going to be good here. That's going to be what you're going to want to do pretty much the whole run. I don't see any other line working. A lot of people try to make the middle lines work here. I don't believe in them. I think that if you're really patient, if you get right to that yellow line, and then you slide right up like this, almost like in qualifying, just with not as much urgency, not as much pushing the car to its absolute limit. We don't want to be too hard on the brakes in the corners, but we want to use that trail brake to land the car on the line that we want. So I'll go a little bit more in depth here. So for instance, turn 1 here, only want to go at 20% throttle. Really get down there early, keep the car down there, and then just drive the car straight up from the bottom, using all the real estate. 3 and 4, we can set up a little wider if we want, a little easier off the throttle, point the car at that yellow line, then we just hold it on this yellow line. Oh, I hit the apron a little bit there, but then full throttle around the white dot dashed line. You can let the car be a little bit farther off the yellow line than that if you don't want to hit the apron. You probably don't want to hit the apron. But getting down to the right to the apron in turn 1 and 2 is very important. You don't want to be missing the bottom in 1 and 2. 3 and 4, not quite as important. Take a look here. So easy off the throttle. Let the car slide up maybe a little bit. A tiny diamond is okay. The more you diamond, the more it's probably going to hurt your tires. It depends on how you approach it. If you're really waiting until the car is over slowed to turn the car, it doesn't hurt your tires, but then it's slow. Yeah. 1 and 2, we really want to get to the bottom and then just use all the real estate to just drive straight back up the track. You don't have to go full throttle until pretty late, as long as you're carrying your momentum through. 3 and 4, once again, using that trail brake to rotate the car, getting the car to turn back down the hill late so I can go full throttle early, grab the car off like so. Very important to get your shift from trail brake to partial throttle to be instant. So if I waited in between here, it would cause me to lose a lot of momentum that I wouldn't have otherwise had. I'm just using all that real estate once again. So we'll do one more 3 and 4 here. Off the corner. Let it slide up maybe a tiny bit, but then turn it back down the hill, and then full throttle when you get to the white dash line. And that's a comfortable, good pace that you can keep up. And the only thing that changes as the run goes along, brake earlier, brake longer. All you want is that car to stick to the yellow line. All right, let's take a look at the tires here. They are going to be, 98-98. We didn't run too many laps, but that's just showing that that is even tire wear, and that's what you're going to be looking for here at ARCA, Texas. All right, thank you all for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you all on the track.